And I think at this point, I feel it's probably a great point to really get to know our guest. So I do have interview questions set out, but a lot of this is, pretty casual. I like to, go into that way. And I would like to, aside from again thanking Asahi for joining us and helping us learn more about you, but I would love you to start off with telling the viewers who are not familiar what is the flow arts.
Well, the flow art is pretty much like a dance movement culture that has, prop manipulation objects or just working with props and pretty much being able to be in a flow state. And people ask, what is a flow state? Is literally, expressing your, expression through dancing, through the props. And also, it gives this, how can I say, like the feeling of ascending to your goals, your challenges within yourself. It gives you a meditative state. And it's very popular to be used as a technique of meditation, as well as a workout way, having fun and kind of being able to physically move around. And also, it is an art form because you're able to kind of give this visual illusion to the audience. Um, and yeah, that's to me, I believe that flow art is definitely a unique way of expressing through dancing and your prop um objects. Yeah.
That's pretty fun. I mean, especially like, seeing it, I mean, aside from like the amazing ways of juggling that stuff, uh, in seeing it beforehand, I was thinking it's like, oh, this is like kind of like an advanced Tai Chi type thing. You're just like
Yeah.
doing these movements. It's kind of dance, but you're just invoking a lot of things like sword dancing and whatnot too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, and that in mind, I would like to know, when did you start and like, who or what inspired you to start
Yeah.
this whole journey?
Yeah. So I started during the stay-at-home order actually this year in May. I was really looking into flow heavily for like 3 years, in and out of it. My ultimate inspiration is Dalton Sumes. He is an incredible levitation artist. He has worked for Cirque du Soleil. He has worked for Burning Man. He currently actually did a cool project with holograms and work with partnering with Burning Man and Circa, I believe. And instantly when I looked at his YouTube video, I was like, wow, I want to do what he does. And the thing that he does is just so seamless. It's like he is just amazing at it. He makes it look like this is like no big deal, the way he
Right.
does the levitation wand. And then over time, when I looked at Dalton during the pandemic, I looked through Instagram with different other flow artists, and that really triggered my inspiration. I was like, okay, I want to do that. And I want to see if I can do that because I have this problem of self doubting myself.
Hmm.
So I felt like this was a good time to do something while I'm stuck at home, don't have school, don't have work, and I could like focus on creativity. And yeah, it all started from there. And my first wand that I got was an amazing wand, and it's not a good wand, but I was practicing it literally every single day for 3 hours from that point.
Right. And like a lot with a lot of these things, like practice makes perfect. But also, in the essence of everything with meditation and everything else is like perfection, that's if anything, that's a barometer that we give ourselves. But, as long as you're okay with, what you consider failures, and I put quotations on that because failure is what you make of it. I
Hmm.
mean, self-fulfillment is really just a self-made prophecy. But yeah, I mean, and you see like the work that you've done, it really does flow, like as in the name is like a nice flow art. So that's cool. Now, are there a normal selection of props that are used for flow movement? And, kind of bouncing on that is what type of props do you use? I mean, you
Yeah,
showed
so
me stuff too.
It goes from, from a hula hoop to a juggling ball to the more like props that you don't see on the market as much. The props that I have currently are the silk fan, the levitation one that we saw earlier.
Right.
Also, I have the hula hoop, and the dragon staff is one of my favorite props, but it's actually big, so I didn't bring it in here.
I was about
Um,
to say that sounds epic. I want to see it.
I love the dragon staff, and this is called the silk poi. I just recently bought this. I'm a very, very beginner on it, but it gives very beautiful colors when you use the prop. And other people use fire fans, juggling balls. I think it's called Boonagang. It's more of an illusion type of prop, but
Mm.
it's called Boonagang, and there's like two, how can I say, staffs. That is an S shape, and you make all types of cool illusional art, visual art on it. I can't really explain it, but
Maybe I'll see about finding some images that I can put in here. Hopefully, we'll see.
yeah, and some people use contact staffs, triads. Triads are like this triangular thing where you make shapes with your flow, and a lot of people uh, use it as a fire spinning prop. So they put fire on it, and then they make shapes. And poi is another prop that is pretty popular in the scene too.
Right. And now it sounds like a lot of these things, like, from the colors that we see, like, can eventually escalate to like fire and all these other, let's say, amazing, albeit a little dangerous types of uses on that one, which is cool. And obviously, I would not advise everybody to start off with that, but it is an option apparently. So always be cautious on how you use any of these things at home, because remember, safety first.
And
Um,
there's people who fire eats, fire breathing. I'm actually doing a course for that soon, as well as fire spinning safety class, because you cannot do that on your own. It's very dangerous. You can actually die from getting
yes.
poisoned from I don't know, sucking on lamp oil or whatever. It's
Oh
just
boy, safety
not
first.
safety first. But yeah, that's pretty much, I believe, what the props are. But it expands. Some people even creates props. I have seen many flow artists that will like try out making their own new props and kind of promoting it. I also realized there's also a thing called whip, and also the rope dart. Some people do in the flow community as well. And yeah, and lightsabers too. I think that's pretty cool. People using lightsabers. Yeah.
Like that lightsaber kid? No, the whole Darth Maul thing. All right. So also I want to acknowledge, I mean, you have a YouTube channel, Sunny Side Up, which I must say I truly enjoy. I checked out a lot of the content. I would also, again, like to give the opportunities, like what type of content do you normally produce thematically or just in general? Like, and what gave you a push to create this type of content?
Okay. So I haven't honestly done YouTube as much as I did with my flow content. But what pushes me to do these type of content is I used to love writing journals. I used to love writing a lot. I still do. I write poetry too. But what gives me the push, I believe, is just experiences in life. I went through a lot of hardship. Well, I guess there's difference in what hardship is, but I don't know. I believe a lot of like traumatic events has really pushed me to, I don't know, just kind of like it's more of like a healing process, I
Hmm.
guess. It's like a healing journey. And I am finding ways to be able to express myself without feeling like I'm being judged in society. I feel like over time your mind gets very distorted from the experiences that you experience with people, whether it's a phase in your life. And over time, when those experiences happen, it's like I'm in this closed box and I'm just like not really expressing myself or being myself. I don't know. Oh, sorry. um, but yeah, and I think I always find ways that really gives me a meditative state. When it comes to creativity, it definitely helps me distract and kind of give me this push of, oh, I want to create something new. I want to be able to collaborate with other people. I really like this thing. I don't know. I get very into what I am doing. Um, and I like to kind of spread messages to people to feel like they're not alone, because I definitely have. I went through a lot of mental, phases in life, and
Yeah, I truly understand that. I mean, one of the main thesis, whatever. The
yeah.
main point of these videos is obviously to be able to express ourselves and, express myself. And, and that's also why, like, I felt that I related to this type of segment with you is because, to be able to have like this cathartic take on, life and creativity and art, so to say, which, obviously you shouldn't limit yourself to think like it has to be a form of art. It's always just a form of expression in
Yeah.
general. And I think that's like the most important thing overall. Uh, but yeah, I feel you on that one, 100%. Yeah.
And
Um,
sorry, since I was young, I would go home and dance. Like I used to do that a lot. And I think that was kind of like my healing. Like I felt like maybe I was meditating in that way. And, during the pandemic, it was just a very anxious time. And I definitely can say that helped me during that tough time. So yeah, yep.
absolutely. Creates just, brings a lot of that out of us, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, um, I have basically, I would like to give you an opportunity for some shameless self-promotion of what you have coming up or any projects you have, obviously where to check your content. And, just to kind of tie that into, I would like, you to be able to express any type of message that you want to give everybody else, because again, feelings, self-love, navigating the world as we know, especially now, like, what words of inspiration would you have or would you like to give the viewers on these elements of intangible things and ways of tackling them? So the floor is yours, self-promotion, what your message is. Feel free.
Well, I would honestly say, in many times in my life, I wanted to give up. I remember every single moment I wanted to give up in life, where it was since I was probably like 8 years old. I don't know. It was pretty hard, having to battle that over the years, right? And I realized that every time in those moments it happened, that life literally made me see, don't do that. You are still not going to give up, because see, if you gave up, you wouldn't have seen this part of life. And the more I see it that way, the more I'm just like, I could do anything in life. And it became also another um, way of thinking is, if you thought of, dying, you should just do anything you can think of that will, make you happy. And um, I believe that we can literally do anything in life. It's just that it's unfortunate that we have this blueprint in our head saying like, we gotta be a certain way, but we can actually do anything we want. It's just this perception of society that makes us not be ourselves. And the more I realize, the more you let yourself free, the more you're going to realize what happiness really is, what authenticity really is. You're going to understand what you really want over time without thinking of the small things in life. Um, but yeah, I can say that flow is just amazing. Uh, it definitely has brightened my life. The community is great. People are very kind, people are very supportive, and to see that side of the world during the pandemic, where I used to go out, see all types of people, to being stuck inside, being on the internet, seeing this type of support and strangers supporting each other, not even through flow, but even let's say like unemployment forums, or like, I don't know, strangers sending out food to the community. Like, it's wild to see that, the world can flip like this, where some people couldn't see this day, and you're here seeing this day,
Yeah.
thinking that this will never happen in the world. But this made me realize more, like,
Yeah. And
anything can.
that, yeah, that in mind, I mean, the essence of expressionism and, that sense of community, like sometimes we don't realize that, like, sometimes they really connect to each other. This ability to be able to extend and expand yourselves, beyond yourself is like, but also starting with yourself. There's really a tie into a lot of that too. But yeah, again, let's hear about what you have coming up, what projects and everything else, plug yourself.
Yeah, the things that am having coming up is, currently I'm working on my own website. I'm currently talking to many potential partnerships. I hope so. And also talking to a few friends on possibly building a workshop where we are teaching people how to do certain flow props, or doing a workshop on meditation or wellness. Um, and I hope to, make some type of event in the future as well in the community. It will be in the United States, but possibly it'll be virtual because of this COVID situation.
Yeah,
But other than that, yeah, I also am a ambassador for a company called Pineapple Clothing.
okay.
You can use my code Sunshine with two eyes, to get 20% off.
And
And
I'll have that linked down below, just, to kind of help you with your ambassador and stuff. And of course, like, where people will be able to get more news on you. I mean, yes, you're building your website, but I guess at the time being, I'll link people over to, your YouTube page. I'll see about having it, like, right over here. And then hopefully, as things and events and what you're creating really, picks up a lot more, especially with the website, hopefully you'll have those announcements available. And, this website will house everything I would believe to,
yeah,
in regards to what you're doing, news, events, everything else related to you.
yeah.
Um,
So, if you like to check out my flow videos or content, it's actually on Instagram.
uh,
Called, yeah, sunshine.flow. So you can definitely check it all out there. Yeah.
cool. All right. I want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart for giving us a little bit of instruction. I understood that, like, some of the video might be a little choppy on that one, so hopefully a lot of the viewers were able to kind of really gather a lot from that. And again, taking your time, being able to be another person and the whole mix of expression, as I'd like to say, and part of the whole family, the community that we're in and doing this. I hope to be continuing more content here. But again, thank you so much for taking your time out. And I look forward to seeing more from you. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you, Asahi. And thank you, everyone. And remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and feel free to express yourselves. And if you are a creative of any nature, if you have anything to share, please feel free to get in touch. Comments are welcome below. Feel free to, as like they like to say, smash the like button or whatever, but more subscribers, feel free to go subscribe for more content. I'm going to be doing things more regularly, and hopefully you enjoy this all. So, all good, positive vibes from here, from me, us to you. All right. Thank you all. Stay safe and stay well.